Good afternoon, everyone. Hey guys, this is Bruce Marshall with Simpler Trading doing the nightly market update for Wednesday, June the 16th. And today was Fed Day. It's all about the Fed and what was going on around that meeting. And as you can see, this is the ES here on a daily chart. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Crazy day today, crazy swings today. Now these, top to bottom, I think it was about 45 points. Let's see. Well, from opening print, 50 something. Yeah, so 35, 45 points kind of swings here. Straight down, straight up, down. And when we came back down here, I thought, oh, this may turn into something ugly. And then we just rip all the way back up here to our, you see that micro line right there? Let me clean that up. You see that little micro line, voodoo line? So all over the board, bouncing around like crazy. And this was because of the Fed meeting today. We've all been waiting kind of on pins and needles to see what the Fed does. And this was the first really kind of hawkish tone that Powell has had in a long, I guess, that I can remember probably. Anyway, Powell said that they finally do see a little inflation, that type thing. We are going to see some rate hikes, he said, by late 2023, which is way down the road, of course, but he has to say that, right? They obviously don't have to wait that long, but he has to, soften the blow, I guess is the best way to put it. And I think that's exactly what he was doing, is kind of prepping. We just have so much debt as a nation right now that I don't know how they're going to be able to raise rates substantially, but we'll see. There's a lot more going on, I guess, behind the scenes, and we have to assume they know what they're doing and all that stuff. So anyway, so what does that mean for the market? Well, obviously the market was very worried about what Powell was going to say about inflation. Even this, chop, totally sideways. This is overnight session right here and into today's session. And then the market starts getting really nervous about what he's going to say. And right there is when they did the announcement, boom, and completely, pull the rug out and all that kind of stuff. And then again, we bounced right back up. And I'm not really sure what caused this, but that was a pretty massive run up there, and then that failed, and we're actually going a little bit lower after hours here. So the way I guess to read this is we have been trained by the dip. I don't know if this is algos pushing this back and forth, or if it's people truly coming in to buy this dip, or just short covering. I don't know what it is, but it really kind of sets us up for the next couple of days, the next 2 days primarily, because every talking head, pundit, whatever on CNBC and otherwise is going to have an opinion of how their take on what Powell said and the Fed and what it means to the market and all that kind of stuff. So we got a pretty decent reaction today, but you really see more reaction, I think, tomorrow. As everybody kind of absorbs what the implications are for what happened at the meeting today. And then, of course, we got quad witching. Tomorrow is monthly expiration, on the AM settlement, for example, on the SPX, and quad witching on Friday. So, there will expect a lot more volatility, I think, tomorrow and the next day. And, as far as how I had been positioned, I went into this Fed meeting pretty light. I took off a couple of positions, for small profits, but it's better to take a small profit. One of them had a $150 profit, and the other had a $350 profit. Not big, but I would rather, go in light just for this reason. We knew it was going to be a big event, this particular Fed meeting. So I will be looking to try to come back in and be very selective on what I'm doing. I would say that if we back this out, let me show this real quick, and this will kind of sum it up. If you look at this, and this is this is ES. The trend is still higher and it's still bullish, right? But if you look at this from a practical standpoint, I think we're ready to maybe retest some levels down here, maybe down here to this fire line, maybe. I think we can go higher, but market takes the stairs up and the elevator down. We're taking the stairs up right now, and we'll take the elevator down, and then we'll maybe start working on this back up again. I don't know. That's getting ahead of ourselves up here. So basically, if you think about it, maybe we've got another, I don't know, 5% upside and 10% downside or something like that. That's kind of the way that I think about it. Now, I'm not really positioned that way literally, but I'm thinking about it that way. Is we've got more upside, probably a little bit. I'm looking for 42.87 on the upside. If we get that high, we go to 4,300, maybe. But this thing can flush out at any time, and maybe that starts sooner than later. We do have earnings season coming up and all that kind of stuff, so that's on the positive side. On the negative side is today's news was not bullish for the long term. So we wait and we take this thing day by day. And luckily, if you're in bias with me or trading with me in the main room, whatever, most of our trades are pretty short term in nature anyway. So I'm not really positioned out a year from now or 6 months from now. I'm 6 days from now, and maybe a couple of weeks from now, 2-3 weeks out, or so. But so these short-term fluctuations we can take advantage of and jump on when we can and try to make a little money that way. I will get when we get a little more clarity. We're always looking for clarity. When we get a little more clarity, we can maybe start positioning some things. If it does end up selling off, that's great. I will be a buyer at some level on the downside. If we keep going, I'll keep riding it on the upside too. And I trade mostly volatility anyway, so as long as we get within a range of where we are on the current price, I'm okay up or down either way. So that's the way that I prefer to play it, rather than trying to have to pick a direction every day. So that's what I've got. Just be cautious. You'll see more reaction tomorrow, maybe more fallout, maybe more bounce. You'll see more volatility on Friday with quad witching and all that kind of stuff. And then we try to see how that plays out into next week. We read the next couple of days and try to interpret that into the next week or two and place trades accordingly. So again, for right now, I'm very light on the number of trades. A lot of cash just sitting on my hands, kind of watching and waiting. Sorry, that's my dog in the background. But anyway, so that's what I've got for us. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time. Be nimble in this market and, tight stops and keep some cash for opportunities when they show up, because they will. So thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency. It's one of the things that won me